When you think of the biggest landowners in the world, you might picture billionaire ranchers, real estate moguls, or even massive corporations like Amazon or McDonald's. But one of the largest landowners on Earth isn't a company or an individual, it's an institution. The United States military controls millions of acres across the globe, managing a vast real estate empire that includes everything from training grounds and airfields to secretive research facilities and foreign military bases. Hello everyone and welcome to Uncharted Insights, where today we'll be exploring one of the largest real estate owners in the world, the US military. As of 2023, the US Department of Defense controlled over 27 million acres of land worldwide, making it one of the largest institutional landowners on the planet. This land isn't just limited to the United States. The US military operates in over 80 countries, with more than 800 bases spread across North America, Europe, Asia, and beyond. These installations vary in size and purpose, from massive Army training facilities in the American Midwest to strategically placed air bases in the Pacific. Some are well known, like Ramstein Air Base in Germany or Camp Humphreys in South Korea, while others, such as classified testing sites in Nevada, remain shrouded in secrecy. But how did the US military come to control such a vast amount of land? And why does it continue to hold on to so much of it, decades after global conflicts like World War II and the Cold War ended? The military's massive real estate holdings didn't appear overnight. The process of acquiring this land has taken more than a century, driven by global conflicts, technological advancements, and national security concerns. In the early days of the US, military land was mostly limited to forts, naval ports, and coastal defenses, but everything changed with the 20th century. As the world plunged into war, the US government took drastic measures to prepare. During World War I, from 1914 to 1918, the military rapidly expanded, but it was World War II that truly transformed its land holdings. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 forced the US to mobilize on an unprecedented scale, and the government needed space for training soldiers, testing weapons, and producing military equipment. Between 1941 and 1945, the War Department took control of millions of acres across the country, often through eminent domain, which allowed the government to seize private property for public use. Many farmers and landowners were forced to sell their land, sometimes at prices below market value, to accommodate the construction of military bases, airfields, and testing grounds. One of the most famous examples of this occurred in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where thousands of residents were displaced to make way for the Manhattan Project, the secret program that developed the atomic bomb. Similar land acquisitions happened across the country, especially in California, Nevada, Texas, and New Mexico, where large, open areas were ideal for military use. By 1945, at the end of World War II, the military had established over 2,000 domestic military installations, and was also expanding its presence overseas. The defeat of Germany and Japan allowed the US to set up bases in strategic locations, leading to a permanent military footprint in countries such as Germany, Japan, Italy, and South Korea, many of which remain to this day. As the Cold War escalated in the 1950s and 60s, the US military's land holdings continued to grow. Nuclear missile silos were built across the Midwest, top-secret research facilities like Area 51 were established, and the government expanded military testing grounds for new weapons systems. By the 1980s, the US military had one of the most extensive land portfolios in history, with bases and facilities spread across nearly every continent. With the Cold War ending in 1991, one might assume that the military's need for land would decrease, but that hasn't entirely been the case. While some facilities were closed, many remained active due to their strategic importance. One of the primary reasons for retaining this land is training. The military conducts large-scale exercises that require vast, open spaces to simulate real-world combat conditions. For example, Fort Irwin in California, covering more than 1,000 square miles, serves as a major training center for U.S. forces, allowing them to prepare for combat in desert environments. Another key reason is weapons testing. Many military facilities, such as the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico, are used for testing advanced weapons systems including hypersonic missiles and experimental aircraft. These tests require large isolated areas where classified technology can be developed away from public view. Additionally, the U.S. military controls large sections of airspace, particularly over Nevada and California, for testing next-generation aircraft. These restricted areas, such as those around Edwards Air Force Base and Nellis Air Force Base, are critical for developing stealth fighters and other advanced technologies. Despite its vast land holdings, the military has closed hundreds of bases over the years. Since the 1990s, the U.S. government has implemented the Base Realignment and Closure (BRAC) program, which has shut down over 350 military installations deemed unnecessary. Some of this land has been repurposed for civilian use. For example, Lowry Air Force Base in Denver, Colorado, which closed in 1994, was converted into a residential community. Other former military sites have been turned into national parks, wildlife refuges, or commercial developments. However, repurposing military land isn't always simple. Many sites have been left with environmental contamination due to fuel spills, chemical leaks, and leftover explosives. Cleaning up these areas can take decades and cost billions of dollars. Some former military bases remain off-limits due to the presence of radioactive waste or unexploded ordnance, making redevelopment nearly impossible. The U.S. military isn't just a defense force, it's also one of the largest landlords in the world. Over the past century, its land holdings have expanded dramatically, driven by wars, technological advancements, and strategic needs. While some of this land is essential for national security, a significant portion remains underutilized or difficult to repurpose due to environmental concerns. As global conflicts evolve and military strategies change, one question remains: how much land does the U.S. military really need? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this on my channel.